Hello everyone, I'm Tracy Reedy. The website's tracetv.tv. And today we have an esteemed psychologist. He's the author of a new book. Actually, it's in the 20th printing. It's a book that came out in 2002 called Divorce Poison. It's Dr. Richard Warshak. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for inviting me.
The book is really fascinating because it's about divorce, but it's about specifically the effects of divorce can have on children. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, it's about a very seamy side of divorce where children become involved in their parents' battles. They take sides with one parent against the other, sometimes to such an extreme degree that they lose all contact with the parent and sometimes with that parent's entire family.
And obviously something like that happening as a child, can it affect them later on as an adult?
It affects them in many ways when they grow up. If they have not had contact with that parent, we know that children are handicapped when they don't have the loving involvement of both parents growing up. But beyond that, when children discover how they've been manipulated and exploited in the divorce, they're angry with the parent who's done this to them. They're angry with the parent they rejected because they think that that parent should have tried harder to win their affection back. They feel bad about themselves. They feel guilty for having been disloyal to a parent. So the effects are pretty devastating.
Do you find that a lot of adults and people that are going through a divorce, that they don't realize what effect they might have on their child by talking bad about the other parent?
I think most parents who do this don't realize how much they're harming their children. Some parents are just not aware of what they're doing. The children overhear bad things that they shouldn't be hearing. But there are other parents who very deliberately set out to turn the child against the other parent. They want to erase the other parent from the child's life. Even then, though, these parents think they're doing the right thing. They've convinced themselves that if they hate their ex, the children should too. But it's definitely the wrong approach.
Well, I heard it said, it was drilled into me, that if you're talking bad about your ex while you're going through a divorce or even afterwards, that child is for better or for worse, we're all equal parts, our mother and our father. And so that if I'm speaking bad about my ex, that in some way hurts my child inside.
That's a good point, because children feel a connection to both parents. They feel identified with both parents. If they turn against the parent, they're actually turning against the part of themselves that is connected with that parent. So of course it affects how they feel about themselves. It hurts their self-esteem. They're more prone for depression later in life and have more difficulty having rewarding relationships.
Are there any early warning signs that you can identify for this situation?
Parents need to watch out when their children begin to say, "I don't want to see you. I don't like spending time with you." In some cases, children begin calling a parent by the first name, a real sign of disrespect. Or children will repeat some bad things they've heard. They may blame the divorce entirely on one parent and use that as a justification for having no more contact with that parent. And parents make mistakes at those times. You need to pay attention to the early warning signs and take action right away. Insist that your contact remain with the child. Help the child to understand what's really going on instead of passively allowing this to continue.
Well, it's a fascinating topic, and it's one that just affects so many people from all walks of life, and I really appreciate the fact that you've written this book and so many people have gotten so much out of it. Can you tell us how people can find out more about you and about the book?
Yes, the book is Divorce Poison: How to Protect Your Family from Bad-Mouthing and Brainwashing, and you can read more about it at my website, warshak.com, warshak.com.
Thanks a lot for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.